And here we go, everybody. Another edition of Jamal About Sports coming to you on a Monday, March 30th, 2026. Big show to get to. We've got news from the world of golf. We've got opening week in Major League Baseball. Some NBA news to discuss. But we start with one from the ages, and I am pleased to be joined by my good friend, Chuck Gore. What is up, CG?
How we doing? We didn't even talk about this, but there's one for the ages that we're going to discuss in 2 minutes. But before that, the Hamilton Continentals, D3 Ice Hockey Championship yesterday in Utica, New York. The Continentals were facing a 30-0 Hobart team who was looking for their third straight champion.
Wow.
30-0, all wins, no ties. And in overtime, on a quick 2-1, the Continentals put it in the back of the net. NCAA champions, again, defeating Hobart for the first time all year.
Congratulations.
And ending their opportunity for a three-peat.
Wow, that's big.
You know, again, as we discussed earlier, I played on a very unsuccessful Hamilton college football team, but it is great to see the Continentals do some good things in the world.
Very nice. And may I also point out, I like the drip, as the kids would say, with the pretty good sweatshirt.
It's a Malbound capsule.
I know, but it's a little nod to my man, Larry David. So anytime LD is represented, I'm always a fan of that. Let's talk about
one.
UConn Duke.
Hamilton Continentals is the real one, but let's talk the other.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, I mean, other than you and the parents of the players on that team, I don't know that it's probably got as much of a...
You should see the clip, and I recommend this to all of our listeners and viewers. There's a clip of the actual final goal.
Yeah.
And
what was the final score? Sorry, what was it?
2-1.
2-1.
2-1. Okay. Yeah. I mean,
all right.
Those poor Hobart, I don't even know what their mascot is, but...
I don't know.
Anyway.
All I know about Hobart is a guy from my high school went there and played football, and I briefly thought about going there to play football, and then immediately thought better of it, and probably wouldn't have gotten in it anyway. So,
Snowbart. You know, it was Snowbart back then.
Well,
and it had nothing to do with the climate.
Yeah.
And moving on.
Well,
to the Huskies.
And Ali Marpet is a former NFL player who's from Hobart, who's from Hastings-on-Hudson, right down the road from us.
Yes.
Anyway, UConn Duke, one for the ages. Got to be honest, haven't really been following this tournament all that closely. But I watched that game last night and was pretty close to turning it off at halftime. Right? I mean, UConn looked dead in the water. They had nothing going. They couldn't make a shot. Certainly couldn't make a three.
No.
And Duke looked to be in complete control. Both the Boozer kids were playing great. And all of UConn's guys were playing poorly except for Terrace Reed. He was the only guy that showed up in the first half.
He looked good. He looked really good. I mean, he was the only thing that kept them in the game for so long. I bet the UConn money line, which I think was 210, and I parlayed that with the over. By the time...
What was the over?
I'm pretty sure it was 136.
Okay.
But by the time that shot was hit, I had totally given up on it all, and I had forgotten about the over. So even though he made the shot, and I was like, oh, shit, my parlay is going to hit.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember what the over was, so I had to go back. But yes, bingo, winner.
Unbelievable. I mean, really incredible. So many things had to go right there for UConn down the stretch.
That's another one where if you could go online and just look at the Dan Hurley clips of everything from the shot being made to he had his head very close, if not touching, to one of the referees, almost like joking around, but it looked very awkward.
Yeah.
Like, I'm surprised, you know, the Duke commentator is getting a lot of shit right now because he had in his comment says, you know, one of the UConn players is on the court. It should be a technical foul, as a Dookie would do.
Right.
One of the guys on the court, get him off the court. No. But I mean, that wasn't Dan Hurley putting his forehead against a referee. That is something I found crazy.
Yeah. Well, let's get into it. I mean, so many storylines in this game. First of all, Duke basically getting duked, right? You can go all the way back to the Leitner shot against Kentucky, which was a miraculous shot to steal victory from the jaws of defeat. Duke is, I think you would agree with me on this, widely reviled throughout the sports world, except, of course, if you're a fan of Duke, right? If you're an alum or you went there or whatever. But most people can't stand Duke, and for good reason, frankly, right? I mean, and
those friends that are Duke fans, and they love little, Woj, sitting there smacking the court.
Yeah. Well, so to me,
those kids were never very good in sports.
No. So my history with Duke is such that my high school mascot were the Blue Devils. Duke was obviously the Blue Devils. So when I was in high school,
the Blue Devils?
Poly Prep Blue Devils, yes.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So when I was in high school, I actually kind of liked Duke because that was pre-Hurley, pre-Leitner. To me, that's when they became villainous. So they had Johnny Dawkins, who was their best player, who I really liked. Mark Allery, fine. Jay Billis, fine. Not unlikable characters, right?
I like Jay Billis.
Yeah, and Jay Billis is very good on TV.
Yeah, he's great.
But then when I went to Maryland, you instantly hate Duke and North Carolina and pretty much everybody else. But really, Duke is like number one on the list, particularly when it comes to basketball. And then they got Hurley and Leitner, so it's also a little bit ironic that Bobby Hurley played there. Danny Hurley obviously did not. He played at Seton Hall, but then, of course, he's the coach now of UConn. So, and then you've got the father, who's one of the all-time legendary high school basketball coaches.
So, great book, actually written by Adrian Wojbaum, Miracle of St. Anthony's.
I've heard it's really good.
It's an amazing book. I mean, he wrote it before he was even at ESPN, and I read it when I was in. It's one of the only books I read quickly in college, or at all. But it was about this senior year at St. Anthony's, and it went into Bob Hurley Sr. and how much of a psycho he was.
Yeah.
How he was the toughest on his sons.
Yes.
But Danny at Seton Hall was always second, like Bobby Jr.
Oh, yeah.
But Bobby Jr. would like sleep away from the house at nights because Bob Sr. was always such a nut. But watching the clips, there's a clip of
Danny Hurley, yeah.
No, of Bob Hurley Sr. in the stands with his wife after that shot was
in. There's
so much footage of all these game-winning shots nowadays. Yeah. So many different angles. But that one's hilarious, and he's just dropping F-bombs.
Yeah.
Like nobody could realize what happened. To Bill Rafferty? Oh my God, he couldn't even say onions quickly.
I know. Well, and Grant Hill's doing the game. Grant Hill, arguably the greatest Duke basketball player of all time. I mean, you could put Hurley up there, you could put Leitner up there. Grant Hill certainly had the best pro career of any of those guys.
Yeah.
And he really kind of put them over the top. I mean, remember, they got smoked by UNLV in the Final Four before Grant Hill got there. And then when Grant Hill got there, that's when they beat them in the rematch. But, I mean, Duke, always unlikable. You mentioned Wojo with his little slapping the floor nonsense, and Chris Collins was super annoying, and Hurley was annoying, and Leitner was annoying, and Cherokee Parks, whom I actually met in a bar and is actually a really cool guy. But as a player, super annoying. Thomas Davis, annoying. All those guys were annoying.
And you know who was just as annoying? Except because he didn't go to Duke, he was like a little bit more palatable. Tyler Hansbrough.
Oh, 100%. Oh, my goodness gracious. Yeah.
Go to Duke. You're you're a Duke player.
Yeah. Oh, the Plumlee brothers, there's 17 of them, and they all cycle through Duke. I mean, it's unbelievable. But I thought Grant Hill, I thought he did a great job. I mean, I thought he played it right down the middle. When there were some questionable calls that didn't go UConn's way, he pointed it out. I didn't think he was a homer at all. Very professional, very good job. I mean, that's got to be hard. You're Grant Hill. You're one of the most high-profile Duke alums ever, one of the greatest basketball players in program history, and you're doing this game. I got to give him a tip of the cap. I thought he did an excellent job.
I mean, he's a pro. He's a pro.
I mean, the craziest thing is obviously the end of the game. So Cam Boozer made a bunch of big shots that kind of keep UConn at bay, right? I thought he played really well down the stretch. He was very poised, under control. UConn couldn't make a three all game. They finished 5 for 23 for the game. I mean, typically you shoot that poorly from three, particularly in college, you're not going to win a game. And then that kid makes that three from 30 feet after.
I think it was 35.
After K Boozer threw the ball. He didn't need to do that. Just hold on to the ball. Game's over.
Yeah.
What are you doing? It's very un-Duke-like. I mean, I'm not going to say I was mad, although it's a bit of a lesser.
Very surprising that he made that pass.
Yeah.
Just hold the ball.
Right.
Like you're
good. Game's over.
Yeah.
I mean, you go down the end of the court, even if he misses both foul shots, it's highly unlikely UConn's going to score off of that. So, and they were up 2, right? So all he really would have had to do is make one, and if he makes both, the game's over. But there was like
the kid from UConn missed the front end of the
right
shots right before that.
That's right.
That's when I was just like, all right, this is toast.
Agreed. I thought that sunk them as well. I mean, you missed the front end of a 1-on-1. Essentially, it's a turnover, right? I mean, that's basically what you're doing.
It was double. I think we were double bonus.
Oh, they were in the double bonus. Okay, so he went 1 for 2. Right.
Yeah,
okay.
But still, it was just like, well, then you guys, and that's
they trailed the whole game. They were losing the whole game.
Watching with my buddy, that's why I forgot the over under.
Yeah.
When he made the shot, I was like, oh shit, I don't even know if I won this.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy.
Tonight, putting it all on the Sixers tonight after hitting that parlay.
Okay, yeah. Well, we're gonna get to your surging Sixers later. I think it was about 10 days ago. You were texting me they were losing to, I think, was the Pelicans, and you were quite upset. And they came back and won. So we'll get. I think that might have kick-started the whole thing, but we'll get to that in a second. So Final Four, real quick, sets up UConn, Illinois, Michigan, Arizona. That's really of those 2 matchups, the Michigan-Arizona one, 2 number 1 seeds.
Yeah.
I've seen a bit of Michigan this year. They and Duke look like the best teams to me all year. If I'm going to have to, I would pick a Michigan-UConn final. That's my pick. And Michigan winning it all.
And all the $150 or $200 I spend on brackets to the same bracket across the board.
I didn't even do one this year.
And well, then of course you're not watching unless you're betting.
I know.
And thanks to our partners at bet365.com.
I mean, it's a larger topic for maybe another day, but to me, the college game is broken. The one and dones, the portal. It's hard to, as a fan of University of Maryland basketball, which typically is pretty good. It's not fun anymore. You don't watch players develop over the course of 2, 3, or 4 years anymore. If anybody's good their freshman year, they leave, they go to the NBA, which I don't blame them, but that's just the reality. And then you just basically, it's just like free agency every year.
It is. Listen,
it's hard to keep track of your team. I mean, it's so.
As a guy that used to track Villanova message boards on dial-up Wi-Fi, on dial-up internet, and follow those while I was living in Ecuador, but still being such a fan and being able to hey, I remember when this kid signed, to now all of a sudden it's like, no, I'm a Villanova basketball fan. I will watch their games, but I don't know any of these players really anymore. I mean, I know some of them, and I'll follow the ones, but there's no cohesion of a team anymore. It's really correct. What can you do in 2 years?
Yeah, there's no more satisfaction from a fan's perspective of watching a team develop over the course of a couple years. The days of Josh Hart, Brunson, Bridges under Jay Wright, those days are over. They're gone. They're done.
It's kind of in that way an interesting way to say it. At least they're doing it in the NBA. But real quickly before we move on, my predictions for all my brackets are UConn and Arizona in the final, and Arizona beating UConn.
Okay. All right. So UConn, Arizona for you.
Yeah.
UConn winner. Michigan, UConn for me. Michigan winning it all. All right. We'll circle back and see if either of us are right.
Yes. It'd probably be UConn that wins it.
Yeah. Well, you would think after yesterday, they see certainly the Team of Destiny storyline certainly would seem to be in play.
Yes.
And plus, I mean, they were a 2 seed. It's not like they're not expected to be good. So it's not like there was some 11 seed that came out of nowhere.
They're like the 5.
Yeah.
They're really like the 5th best seed.
Yeah. And as unlikable to me as Danny Hurley is, he is a hell of a coach. So
He is.
And if it was my coach, I'd love him. I'll be honest, but
he's a
little much. He's a little much.
He's a little fit. Yeah. And even as much as I love the Hurley story and the whole umbrella,
yeah,
he's kind of, I would say, tarnishes it for me. But it's all right. Maybe this is what it would have been like if all the Hurleys were really successful. It's we'd just be you little shits. Well, at least we only got one. But whatever. That's
yeah. I remember when he played at Seton Hall, I desperately wanted him to be better than Bobby Hurley because I hated Bobby Hurley.
And now he's better. You're this is what.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know what? It probably makes so much sense considering that Bobby was always so much better than him at everything.
Yeah.
Then now all of a sudden he's I am the man.
Right. And Bobby Hurley just got fired from Arizona State, right?
Yeah.
Bobby Hurley, to be fair, was going to have a good pro career until he had that horrible car accident.
Yep. No, that's also very true.
Yeah. Same. And Jay Will obviously had the motorcycle accident.
Were they both? Hold on. But where was Bobby?
Sacramento.
Those are the Kings. I was going to say. I remember that.
Yep.
Swinging.
All right, moving on.
Yeah.
To somebody else who's a little much. What are your thoughts on Tiger and his latest vehicular misadventure, shall we say?
What are my thoughts on Tiger? I think some of the subplots behind it are actually even more interesting than the real one. It's somebody was telling me Trump, whatever Trump person involved in this, needs to keep him away from their kids because he's starting to do some drugs in front of the kids. Not in front of them, but he's just inebriated.
Right.
What's the Trump woman that he's dating?
It's not Tiffany. It's I forget, but yes, she is a member somehow of the Trump family. I don't know what
to our audience, 100%. The fact that neither of us know that is actually should just show you how at least we're people that are intelligent.
Yeah, I'm not interested. Yeah, honestly, in his.
I did hear that he's Kai is the granddaughter, the president's granddaughter, who is the daughter of the woman that he's dating.
Okay.
But I've heard that he's already on a tight leash about, and I think it's all pills with him.
Yes, it is.
Pills and weed, which is sad. Again, it's not something to laugh at, but I think, but I mean, the sub story again is that, they know how much he's using. And I just think when you all of a sudden, how somehow Tiger Woods has gotten himself involved with the Trumps is almost what's next? Is this all just keeping up with the Kardashians and the real
kind of
it's almost become the British monarchy. It's everything's what matters?
Exactly.
That's a whole different.
Yeah, no,
that's a sports conversation.
No, I hear you though, but it's hard to kind of untangle the two because the specter always looms there when that name is involved. So, well, look.
Listen, I think my answer real quick, sorry to interrupt. My answer real quick is I feel bad for him to an extent. I don't understand how the fuck this dude doesn't have a chauffeur at this point.
Well, yes, of course.
That is pretty simple.
Beyond idiotic.
People can sign NDAs. You don't have that. I mean, you've got plenty to hide, I'm sure. You've always had plenty to hide. But people sign NDAs, Tiger. Just get a fucking chauffeur.
Just hire a driver. I mean, have the guy chauffeur you around in an Escalade and be done with it.
You can guys. You could block things off if you wanted to.
Of course, it's absolutely ridiculous. Look, I've never been a fan. Okay, partly because of how how I am. I'm a bit of a contrarian, right? So, when he first burst on the scene, the fawning over him just drove me nuts. But it was justified. I mean, he was doing things that nobody else had done. But to me,
I was a big fan. I wasn't a huge golf fan, but
I don't blame you. Listen, I know I'm in the minority. I mean, I get it, and that's just part of my personality. But I think he's proven himself to be not a great guy. This is now his fourth incident. And look, I don't want to, get all moralistic about what people do in their bedroom. And, it's not great, obviously, that he was a philanderer and all those things. And some of it's learned behavior, apparently, because his father did the same thing. But what bothers me about this is that he's not going to suffer. He'll suffer zero consequences as a result of this. And this is now his fourth incident. I mean, he's going to kill somebody. That, nobody seems to bring that up. It's like, oh, we feel bad for him. He could have hurt himself again. How about if that guy didn't pull away just enough and he T-boned him, that guy would have died. I mean,
yes, you're right. And when I say I feel bad for him, it's not oh, poor Tiger. It's
I know.
It's more, he's definitely, that guy's struggled. And yes, he's extremely wealthy, extremely successful, and a pioneer in the game of golf, no question. But it's almost like watching, very talented, anytime you see like a very talented individual that should have it all together, but realize like how quickly that success can unravel you. And I feel like that's what we're somewhat seeing with him. Again, this is hopefully.
No, listen, it's a very human way to look at it. And I appreciate that. And I totally understand that. But, what drove me crazy when he won the Masters in 2019, completely improbably, was, they treated him like he was some sort of conquering hero. All of his issues were self-inflicted. Yes. This wasn't that his wife cheated on him or his business manager robbed him of his money or he was the victim of some crime or some random act of violence. No, he brought all of this on himself. Yeah. So while, yes, that is sad that somebody who seemingly has it all, who clearly has demons and things that he has not worked out, and is self-destructive, yes, in the grand scheme of things, that just in and of itself is a sad story. And it's really sort of, in the truest sense of the world, not to get all pedantic, but it's Greek tragedy, right? That is what the true definition of tragedy as far as the Greeks were concerned is this getting hit, walking down the street and getting hit by a bus, that's just bad luck. That's not a tragedy. This is kind of a tragedy. It's somebody who kind of had it all, and through their own bad choices and decisions have kind of upended themselves. But he's not. That's the thing. He's still going to probably be Ryder Cup captain if he wants to be. He's not going to be able to play in the Masters and probably wasn't going to be able to anyway. But if he wanted to, they would have let him. So he has a bunch of people enabling him as well. It's not an excuse for the behavior, but it's never going to change unless he suffers some consequences as a result of this. And so far he hasn't. And it doesn't appear that he will at any point in time soon. So hopefully it's a wake-up call for him. But I'm going
to say not optimistic on the wake-up.
No. If you don't suffer any consequences as a result of your bad behavior, why would you not continue to behave badly, right? And
then let's move on right after this question. It's like, I just feel bad for the kids. Charlie Woods is crushing it.
He's going to be. He looks like you know what though, which is incredible.
As far as talking about like a Greek tragedy, is Charlie Woods going to be better than Tiger? And that is the way the Greek tragedy unfolds. That's the way. And then of course there would be another tragedy after that. But
right.
Whatever.
That'd be a tall order. But
let's go
anyway.
Happy story. As if
yes.
Woods, but there's plenty of other happy stories in golf, and one particularly that happened yesterday.
Yeah. Gary Woodland winning the Houston Open. This is a guy that has been a very good player on the tour, won the British Open about 5-6 years ago. But other than that, he's a good player, not a great player. Had brain surgery 2 years ago.
Yep.
And really had a very hard rehab as a result. Kind of had to learn how to speak again and all kinds of stuff. Very arduous process. And then had a lot of mental health issues very publicly that he admitted to as a result. A lot of depression and anxiety, all very understandable, of course. But I give him a lot of credit for being very open about that, and our society has gotten better about that, thankfully, particularly with athletes as well. You're seeing it more and more. And so, just a feel-good story. By all accounts, he's a class act. And for him to win against a pretty good field. I mean, it wasn't, Scheffler bowed out because his wife is pregnant with their second kid and is due any day, but still a very good field there. It wasn't like it was a bunch of no names. Just happy for the guy. Good for him. And what's so impressive to me is, golf, I mean, yes, it's a physical thing, but I mean, it's so mental. I mean, that sport is more than any other sport is the most mentally challenging sport there is.
And the beauty of it is that you never show that on the course.
You never know if I'm playing well or playing poorly, right?
I actually always assume you're doing fantastic.
I'm working on that this year, Chuck. I'm trying.
Hey, listen, we're all working on something.
So very happy for him. Very happy for him. Yeah. It's a nice feel-good story on the same weekend when a not very good story in the world of golf came up. And then I'm going to mention this really quickly. You probably didn't pay attention to it, but I think it bears mentioning. In the LPGA, I'm going to mispronounce her name, but her name is Hyo. She won for the second week in a row, head-to-head. Last day went head-to-head against Nelly Korda, who essentially is the best player on the ladies tour and has been for the last 5 years. She finished, Nelly Korda shot 5 under yesterday to finish 26 under for the tournament and still lost. That's how well this other woman played. Yeah.
Where is she from again, sir?
I think she's from South Korea.
Okay.
Let me take a look. Real quick. But just impressive. So
I'm going to guess based on your pronunciation, which is probably not 100%, but pretty good.
Wasn't great.
I'm going to say Korean.
Yeah, probably. So let's go to really quick. I probably should have had this pulled up, but yeah, she's from South Korea, and it's Hyo Joo Kim. So HYOJOOKIM. So Hyo Joo Kim, I believe, is the way you pronounce her name. And so she's won 2 weeks in a row. Nelly won the first. So Nelly's finished. How old is she?
Just curious. I mean, I feel like some of these.
She's been around for a while. She's 30. So she's won before on the women's tour. She's an accomplished player. And Nelly she's played 3 events. She's won 1 and she's come in second the other 2. So she seems like she's poised to have another really good season. Anyway, so that's it with the golf. Moving on, opening week, Major League Baseball. So I'm annoyed already. I got a bunch of things I'm just going to vent. All right. I'm just going to vent. First of all, nice job, Major League Baseball, starting the season on a Wednesday on Netflix. What the fuck are you doing? Who does that serve? Seriously. I know it's all about money. I get that. Who does that serve the fan base? Does that serve the Yankees fan base or the Giants fan base or anybody who's just a fan of baseball? Does that serve them well?
No. It serves Netflix for selling, hey, we have the rights to the opening game. Who wants to buy into the sponsorship?
But is that how is starting out the season in its own game? First of all, you're not the NFL. Major League Baseball, I hate to break it to you, you're not the NFL. Stop trying to act like the NFL, where you have only one game on in the middle of the week. Okay, you're not. If you're trying to grow viewership and fandom, which they are, right? All these rules changes to speed up the game to try to bring in the younger fan. Okay, maybe you could make the argument that most younger fans.
The pitch clock.
What's that?
I'm a fan of the pitch clock.
Yeah, so am I. But if you're trying to grow viewership, is putting a game on Netflix the best way to do that? I understand more. I'd like to see the numbers, actually. I don't know if, and I don't know if they exist, but like how many households still have cable versus how many people have Netflix? I would think it's still cable. I mean, Netflix is an extra cost. If you have cable, you get the Yes Network, you watch the Yankees. It's that simple.
Do you have a Netflix account?
Of course I do. I'm old. I'm old and rich. I can afford it.
You just answered that question yourself. Of course I do. Well, like everybody does. Like
I don't know that everybody does.
You show me somebody that doesn't have a Netflix account, I'll show you somebody I'm not sure I can trust.
Okay.
I'm kidding about that. That was
no. You know what though? To be fair,
that was an exaggeration on Netflix. I'm like, if you don't have a Netflix account,
it was the first one though. To be fair, you're right. That's a good point. It was the first one. It's the first one I ever had. And I was late to the game on Hulu and Amazon and some of these other ones. Paramount Plus, I just signed up for
like between my wife and I, and this is where you're lucky, like we might pay for every single streaming service we have.
Yeah.
Separately and not even realize it.
Right.
Just because sometimes you're like, oh, I couldn't log into this. Did I log into this? Did I buy this? Did I subscribe to this? And next thing you know, it's like, anyway.
Yeah.
Back to
anyway,
sports.
I think that's nonsense. What's that?
I said back to sports.
Yeah. No, I think it's nonsense. And it's not fair to the regional providers like Yes or whomever the Giants one is out in San Francisco that cover the team for the whole season, and then your first game of the year, you don't even get to cover it. And again, it's just it's to me it's silly.
But do they cover that in local markets? Because I think they still do.
No, that game was only available on Netflix. You could listen to it on the radio, but it was not. You could not watch that game on Yes.
It's not on Yes at all.
Nope.
All right.
No. Michael K was very upset, by the way. The other thing that did was, and I mean, I'm not a Yankee fan, so I don't really care, but the Yankees didn't play yesterday.
Real quick with the Yankees. What is Morakovitz's first name right now?
Aaron
Morakovitz?
No, is it Aaron? No, it's Aaron Brockovich. Meredith Morakovitz.
Meredith Morakovitz? Yes. Her brother and I used to be roommates.
Really?
Downtown, like when my first apartment in New York City.
Huh.
And Meredith, I think, even came to my going away party from the city when I went to grad school at Syracuse. Because Danny, her brother, and I remained friends, and she'd always hang out.
Nice.
But it's lovely to see such a strong woman. Like,
she's great.
No, she's great. And
she's great.
She's super nice. Her brother's a great guy. Danny, if you ever watch this, please.
She's really good. Really, really good.
Her brother played basketball at the U.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Impressive. No, she's excellent. I mean, knows her stuff. She's got a great on-screen presence. She's really good at what she does. Big fan. But the Yankees didn't play yesterday. How weird is that? The first Sunday of the season, the Yankees aren't even playing because they had to start the season on Wednesday. Whatever. It annoys me. I'm old. I'm cranky. Whatever. It is what it is.
I think it's fair. I mean, going into the specifics, at least your team's 2-1. But that's where my interest in the first week of baseball.
Yeah.
Like what? The Phillies go 3-0 and I'm like, oh, we're going to be great. Like,
right.
Dombrowski's right. We have a great club. No.
Like, I mean, there's little to be gleaned.
I'm also not going to sit here and say, yeah, our power hitters went 3 for 50 something. I don't think it was that bad, but nonetheless, and then the season's going to be over.
No,
listen. Yeah, it's the first week of it's
3 games. It's 3 games out of 162. I mean, the first month of the season is almost irrelevant. I mean, I remember in one of the 90s years when the Yankees were in the middle of the dynasty, they started the year like 9-16 and people lost their minds in New York. They were calling the fan asking for Tour to get fired. I mean, it was insane. No. And they went on to win like 104 games in one World Series. So it's I mean, look at the Mets, perfect example. They had a great start to the season last year and then epically collapsed down the stretch. So I get it. Everybody's excited. I'm excited. Especially a team like the Mets has had a ton of turnover. So you want to see how these new guys, look early in the season. But like Mets fans,
had a good weekend though, didn't he?
Who did?
You have a rookie that had a good weekend.
Who? Carson Benj?
Sure.
He's the starting right fielder. He had a good first game. He had a home run and had a walk. Hasn't done much in the other 2 games. Whatever. It's 2 games. He's a rookie. He's hitting 8th.
Same thing with Justin Crawford, who's hitting 9th.
Right. Yeah. And is that Carl Crawford's kid?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's crazy. Boy, you want to feel old. Carl Crawford's kid.
I remember Carl Crawford was kind of like.
I remember he was the young stud, up and coming stud.
On the Rays.
Yeah, on the Rays, right? Yeah. That's nuts. But I have a couple of nits to pick about the Mets, and I know it's 3 games. One, yesterday they basically punted the game once and went into extra innings because now the Mets, they actually said this with a straight face, the manager, Carlos Mendoza. They asked him, why did you not bring your closer in the game, in a tie game, in extra innings? And he said, well, we warmed him up on Thursday. Quote unquote, he got hot. So we view that as almost like an appearance. And then he pitched yesterday, so we didn't want to use him 3 out of the first 4 days of the year. Like, what are you insane? What? He can't pitch back-to-back days already?
It's like you can space that out. This is where you want him to get warm. I mean, I honestly shouldn't say that. I know nothing about how a relief pitcher should.
Come on. I think they're overthinking this stuff.
Yes, that is 100% true. Like, if he can't pitch back-to-back days right now, then...
I mean, they're never not... It's not like obviously, there are going to be times this season where he has to pitch back-to-back games, but it seems to me they're being a little too careful. And I understand it's the 3rd game of the year, but the guy that they brought in yesterday is this guy, Richard Lovelade, who's literally the 12th pitcher on the team and the 25th guy on the team. The only reason he's there is because their other lefty reliever, Minter, is hurt, and he's not going to be ready until May. So the guy's not very good that they brought in yesterday. And he pitched the day before and escaped by the skin of his teeth, and then the Mets won on a walk-off home run by one of the new acquisitions, Louis Robert Jr. The other thing that was interesting, real quick, is Bo Bichette, who's gotten off to a very poor start. I know. Well, listen, he got booed yesterday. Came up with a chance.
Oh, you know what? If that happened in Philly, oh look, the Philly fans are booing Bo Bichette. Like even Mets fans can do it. Like, you guys get enough shit for being sourpusses already.
Agreed.
But
so
you never hear about that. So listen, I'm not, and I'm just saying this really quickly. If we booed Bo Bichette, it would be in the New York Post.
Agreed.
You guys can boo whoever you want. Like, we're never covering that shit.
Agreed. I will say, SNY, the Mets channel, did cover it, though. And
the SNY does have to cover it. It's your team.
I know. But they didn't try to.
I'm saying, like, if Philadelphia did that,
it would be a national story. If Philly did, it would be a national story.
The Post would have it like it'd be the 3rd story under Iran.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Philly fans.
Well, the Post isn't maybe the best example to use of excellent journalism, but it would be on Sports Center. It might even make PTI.
Oh, it would totally. 100%.
It might be on, one of those other dopey shows, Get Up or, the First Take or whatever. They would definitely talk about it. It would be a national story if that was the Phillies. You're 100% right.
Blah.
100% right.
The producers just sitting there typing and being like, you got a Philly fan story. It's like, it gets clicks. Like,
yeah.
Like, come on.
But what was cool, actually, was the way Bo Bichette reacted to it. So they asked him in a locker room after the game, when they have all the press around. And he said, honestly, I'm surprised it took him that long.
Yeah.
And he admitted, look, I'm pressing. He's like, I want that big moment. I'm trying to get it out of the way, and I'm probably pressing a little bit. And I've had slumps before, and I'll be fine. But yeah, so he handled it the exact right way. Yep. I mean, he'll be fine. He'll be fine. But the other idiotic thing the Mets did yesterday was they had 1st and 2nd, nobody out. They were down 4-2. Soto hits a gapper, left center. Lindor's on 1st. No outs now. And now you've got the heart of the order coming up. They sent Lindor from 1st to try to score on a double. He got thrown out at the plate, and it wasn't close. He was out by a lot.
I heard about that.
Like, he can't do that. And then Mendoza after the game's like, well, we came into the series saying we were going to be aggressive because the Pirates are not a good defensive team. Well, that may be true, but the guy that fielded the ball in the outfield was O'Neal Cruz, who's known to have one of the best arms in baseball.
Yeah.
And threw it to the cutoff man, who's Jackson Triolo, who's won a Gold Glove. So, like, pick your spots, guys. You can't just blanket statement say, well, because they're a bad defensive team, we're going to be extra aggressive. And it's baseball 101. You don't do that with no outs. You have 2nd and 3rd with nobody outs, and then your 3, 4, and 5 hitters coming up. It's completely ridiculous. Anyway, it's only one game, I know, but it annoyed me.
I will save everybody the grace of having to listen to me talk about anything with the Phillies the first 3 games of the season. It's the first 3 games.
It's first 3 games.
Schwarber hit a home run, his first at bat. We won that game, and then we lost the next 2. And
yeah. Sanchez pitched poorly yesterday.
No, Sanchez didn't pitch yesterday.
Who was that? Suarez? No.
Luzardo. He did not pitch very well.
And you don't have Wheeler yet.
I did watch some of that game in a contrast studio, which is a sauna cold plunge, With well, you might be asking, why are none of my children here? It's because my kids are in Paris.
Nice.
Hopefully not with her French boyfriend, but
I thought we put up a sign this week to say "Do not enter recording."
No, their school's off next week. They're all in Paris. I have to work. So does my wife, obviously. But no, I was at a hot sauna cold plunge studio where you can sync your phone to the TV.
Really?
So I watched that Phillies game just sitting in a sauna after maybe having a lot of wine on Saturday night. And It was lovely. Very lovely.
Sweet. Nice.
Well, speaking of the Heat, my Sixers play the Heat tonight, and we're on a little bit of an upward battle to get out of the play-in.
You guys are on a little heater.
It's weird to say it, but the team looks like they're getting healthy. And Paul George, I mean, the same way you just said, Bo Bichette really did a great job of handling the press after getting booed, or talk to the press after getting booed. Paul George coming back after his, substance violation, which suspended him for 25 games. Listen, was he accountable? Did he say he did everything wrong? Yes, but I just wish there was transparency. What did you do?
Yeah.
What was the what were you on? Were you taking ecstasy? He just that would be we'd all appreciate the story. He was not taking ecstasy, but I just don't know.
Could have been ketamine though. Could have been, because that's being prescribed now in small doses.
I've thought about that. I thought about maybe it was ketamine, and because it is not maybe,
but it could be on the band's list.
Yes, which would not be.
And he's got to know that.
It's probably it might be that. Anyway, they're coming back a little bit, and we're a half game out of the 6th spot.
You tied in the loss column with Atlanta, and you're only one game back at Toronto for the 5.
I know, but I do want your 6. I do want your Knicks.
You want my Knicks.
I want revenge.
I don't blame you. The Knicks stink.
I want revenge on 2 years ago where you guys stole game 2 after all those bad.
Here we go. Here we go.
I want the 5 seed. I want the 6 seed, and I want to face New York. And I want to at least go. I want to at least split you guys at home to start this, so that one of those nights you psycho hooligans decide to patrol down Fashion Ave, you have to cry on your way home. That's what I want.
Look, Philly is a tough matchup for the Knicks because the Knicks don't have anybody can guard Maxey.
Nope.
If Embiid plays and is healthy, they don't have anybody who can guard him either. I mean, Mitch can kind of disrupt him a little bit, but I mean, Embiid will bully him down in the paint.
Is looking, and obviously
playing great.
But he on Saturday night they beat the Hornets, and he had a big not like a block down low. He extended and covered the perimeter and had a block on a 3. They were up by 3, so he had a block on a 3. But he had that block extending the perimeter, and he just looked he looks bouncy. It's kind of crazy because he hasn't he's even when he's had his health, he's played with kind of a very I'd say hesitance and naturally, as you would. He's playing right now he just doesn't care, which could be really bad. But if he plays this way and can get through a playoff series, I don't see how the combination of him, Tyrese Maxey, Paul George, and even a VJ Edgecombe, who his biggest knock was can he hit the open 3? And he's been doing it. He's shooting at 35 clip.
Well, let's give credit where credit is due, because about 10 days ago, we were texting. You guys were losing, I think it was to the Pelicans, if I'm not mistaken. You were pretty upset. You had bet on the Sixers also, so you're getting the double whammy. And then who came through off the bench in that game for you?
Champagne.
Old friend Campaign coming out of nowhere, saving the Sixers season.
I just have my daughters from when he played with the Sixers 2 years ago, which is crazy. They're 11-9. This was when they were 9-7, but they remembered Champagne. who has the ugliest jump shot.
Oh, it's so hideous. A lefty push shot.
Yeah, but he's a great.
He was good for the Knicks at times last year. He's like a lefty Jordan Clarkson sometimes. Better dribbler. But look, and my guy Quentin Grimes has been playing well for you too, hadn't he?
Yeah, I mean,
he's had some good games.
I will always go back to I think that we made a mistake in not getting rid of Q and keeping Jared McCain, but I mean, I don't whatever.
He's a serviceable player. I mean, he's not.
He's a
not
very
bad.
serviceable player, and you know what? Maybe, but in a contract year, you should be playing better than Quentin Grimes is playing.
Agreed.
Football. It's not football. Like you're still going to get paid,
right?
And you're still going to get whatever. You still probably sign a 3-year, $16 million all guaranteed deal. You'd be fine.
Nuts. The NBA is nuts. I mean, average guys make 15, 20 million a year now. Like it's nothing. I mean, it's crazy. But by the way, yeah, the Sixers are
NBA big picture. I mean, it's getting interesting. You know, I think that the Lakers they're
on a heater too.
They're doing
the Knicks are the panacea for everybody. The Lakers were doing nothing until they played the Knicks on that Sunday about 2 weeks ago, and they've been hot ever since. The Knicks, I'm going to say it right now. The Knicks are not a serious contender. They're not. They're just not.
You guys won last night, though? Yes.
No, they didn't win.
Who did they play?
OKC.
Oh, well, that's actually, yes.
In OKC. So
that's an easy out.
And they were competitive. It was a 2-point game with about 6 minutes left, and then Shea just took over. By the way, that team, I mean,
they're very deep.
They are tough to take, though. I mean, first of all, they get every call. They got a bunch of guys that just foul you on every possession and dare the refs to call it, and the refs are letting them get it. I mean, Lou Dort, the other Jalen Williams, Kayson Wallace. I mean,
you don't talk about Hartenstein just because he's a former Knick. Do you love?
I like Hartenstein, but he hasn't even done that much for them this year. I mean, he's been hurt. He's been in and out of the lineup. And Shea gets every call now. I mean, look, the guy's great. I'm not denying that. Of course he is. But he gets every call. It's so annoying. And it got in the Knicks' heads twice now when they played him. And that's their fault. I mean, they complain way too much. Mike Brown got a technical. It's only his second one. And guess who the other game was that he got a technical foul?
Sixers?
Also against OKC. I mean, he has 2 technical fouls. They're both against OKC. But the Knicks are just not. They're not good enough. I mean, they're not.
I've never been a.
Yeah, nice guy.
No, perfectly nice guy and a good coach. But I just think
it's okay.
I just think they're retreads. Like if you're not a champion somewhere, why does everybody think you'd be a champion somewhere else?
I totally agree.
But then again, in the NFL, no coach has ever won a Super Bowl with 2 teams.
Right.
So it's like,
well, baseball used to do this all the time. They would have guys, Jim Riggleman and Terry Collins. Like you'd have all these, like, for lack of a better term, like milquetoast white guys that just kept getting recycled and recycled.
And they did it for a long time before they put the Rooney Rule in, which was great. I mean, unfortunately, it makes them have to interview candidates they have no intention of hiring sometimes just to go through the process. But I mean, there's obviously been a change into the diversity of head coaches in the NFL.
Although this year they had 10 openings and not one black guy got hired in the NFL.
I didn't pay attention to that.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah. So
then again, that's where it's like the Rooney Rule is great and all, but
it needs tweaking probably, but there definitely was a time. I mean, I remember when as recent as 10, 15 years ago, there were maybe 2, 3 black head coaches in the league. Tomlin was one of them. And then I think it got us, and that's, 1%, right? If there's 30 teams. And then I think it got as high as 6 at one point. There were 6 black coaches in the NFL. So, it definitely, there's been some progress made there.
10% to 20%.
But that's right, 10, not 1.
But nonetheless, like that's still not.
It's not great.
No,
it's not great. But you are seeing now, I think, and the Lions are actually a very good example of this, a lot of black assistants and then getting coordinator jobs. And then obviously that leads to head coaching jobs. Yep. I think that was, and a lot of these guys are former players. You see a lot of former players now going into coaching. And I think that will bode well ultimately to see more black head coaches in the NFL. But getting back to the Knicks really quickly, I mean, I said this the last time we did a show. I've said this when I've done shows by myself. I mean, the biggest factors for the Knicks to get over the hump are going to be Towns and Bridges, and those guys just have not brought it this year. It's just that simple. I mean, Towns had 4 points at one point and like midway through the third quarter. He'd taken 4 shots. Now, as part of that coaching, could be, but I mean, he's supposed to be the second best player on the team, the second highest scorer. Bridges has way too many games where he's just fades in and out, or he's just completely invisible. Yeah, they don't have it. They're really good at beating the bad teams. They're going to win their 50 games this year. Maybe they get out of the first round, and that's it. And to fire Tom Thibodeau for Mike Brown made absolutely no sense. You want to fire him for Michael Malone, who actually has a championship on his resume? Fine, not Mike Brown.
Yeah. Well, with that,
it's going to wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up, my friend. Thank you for joining.
Going back to our initial conversation, I'm pretty sure the Sixers Heat game is on Peacock, and I think I have to ask my friend for his password.
All right, hold on. Let's see right now. Let's take a look.
It's on Peacock, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
It's not NBA TV in Peacock, is it?
It's not. It's not. By the way, I don't get NBA TV anymore because on my cable system or MLB because they're in some stupid fight. Knicks don't play tonight, thankfully. Let's just you want to take a quick look at the Sixers schedule down the stretch here? We only got 7 games left.
I will call W and L's, and then I'm going to go try and figure out this Peacock situation.
Okay, buddy. Tonight at the Heat.
W.
At Washington. W.
W.
Home against the Timberwolves.
W.
Home against the Pistons.
L.
At San Antonio.
L.
At Houston.
W.
At Indiana.
W.
W.
That's the end of the season, right?
No, and then home against Milwaukee. Should be a W.
That's also W.
You have a very favorable schedule here. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Back-to-backs. And you know what? There's a big conversation right now in Philadelphia media. Obviously, it's like, all right, Joe doesn't play back-to-backs, but you guys are fighting here. Like Tyrese Maxey just came back a week earlier than his evaluation for his pinky finger stuff. And they have 2 back-to-backs. Joe, just play the fucking back-to-backs. Like,
I hear you.
And
Look,
you know
they only have 1 left, though. They got Friday, Saturday, and that's it. Every other, and then they only have 1 more back-to-back left.
No, I think there's 2. I think
they play tonight, then you play Wednesday, then you play Friday, then you play Saturday, then you play Monday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday.
Isn't there a unless something just got moved? Don't we play the Pacers maybe?
The Pacers are, oh yeah, you're right. I'm an idiot. Yes, they're the second game after the Houston game. You're right. So do you have 2 back-to-backs? You're correct.
Yeah, the Pacers are not trying to win that game. The Pacers will win that.
Of course.
So like, you know what?
Sit Embiid in that game.
Yes. Sit in that game before the playoffs and before the play-in or whatever you end up doing. Sit in there and like they should be mapping this out the way that we can talk about this.
Yeah.
Hey, he's gonna play here, here, here. We can take it contextually to how he's feeling for the back-to-back Timberwolves Spurs.
Yeah.
And I would almost like see where you are in that process, like contextual and like not only how he's feeling, how the standings are shaking up, how everything's going. But I think, listen, I haven't seen a Sixers team this cohesive, like, and happy off the court together and the way that they celebrate wins in a tumultuous season where there was injuries, suspensions, blah. Like, I mean, it's pretty much our trajectory every year. If they could do it. They could do something. Our biggest, since the process started, we have not gone out of the second round. I could see them doing that this year. When the expectations are quite low is when sometimes Philadelphia sports do their best.
I hear you. I hear you.
Well, let me go do my best.
Thanks for joining. Enjoy the game tonight. Check us out on Jamal About Sports YouTube channel. Give us a like. Give us a follow. Check us out on Apple Podcasts, Podbean. And until next time, peace out.